And this video is probably not something you guys. This video is my goodbye message to Steven Universe. But it's also showcasing my solo map and everything I've done in the past 5 months on this map. So, if you guys are ready for my thoughts since the last solo video on Minecraft, then let's dive on in. So, I'm gonna go ahead to sleep, and here we go. So, Steven Universe, I first watched it during season 1, of course. It's a new show coming out, looked like something I would watch. So I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. Now I have another portal up there. This has become my storage facility, as you guys saw in the last video, I believe. Oh, my map is wet. Okay, there we go. And after I watched that first episode, I fell in love with the show. So I stopped watching it. And I came back in season 5, where how Rebecca Sugar left all these little details and hidden secrets for the viewers to find, so to play this game while they're watching the show. And again, I fell in love with the series. So, what I'm going to talk about is my favorite character and how that character connects to me. Going to be talking about my favorite episodes, my favorite things about the series, little details that made the series more interesting, and why this series was such an important thing in my life, other than the fact that it was the only cartoon I watched. I don't watch any other cartoons, and now that that show is gone, I'm not going to be watching Cartoon Network anymore. Probably. First and foremost, my favorite character, as you can see, I have her on. The mistress, the illustrious Blue Diamond herself. Now, the reason she's my favorite character, just her powers in general, and how well she connects to me. Blue is a color that's usually symbolized with quiet, emotional. Now, I'm not emotional, but it's usually related to being quiet. And so right now I'm going to my other base, in case that's what you guys were wondering. But Blue is usually someone who's quiet. They kind of go with the flow. They're driven by other people's emotions as well as their own emotions, and they look at how a situation might affect someone rather than doing it and then not worrying about that. They're careful with their thoughts and their words. So Blue Diamond, the one thing she loved in life. First of all, let's talk about the diamond hierarchy, the Great Diamond Authority. So White Diamond, being the ruler, the first ever gem created Gemkind. She created Blue and Yellow as a perfect balanced middle ground. Someone like Yellow, who's military trained, ready to fight, as well as someone like Blue, who is a diplomat and follows the rules and goes by the rules. And then she created Pink, the littlest of diamonds at the bottom of the hierarchy. Someone who can pacify Blue and Yellow's needs and keep them, I guess, keep them together. But individually together, like mentally. So Blue Diamond, she adored Pink. She loved her with all her heart. And she was very rude to Pink. but not at first. So as the storyline goes, Blue Diamond and Yellow Diamond were like the parents of Pink. Blue was like the mom, Yellow was like the dad. And they dictated Pink's every movement. Now Yellow and Blue had lots of worlds that they've conquered, and Yellow did everything White Diamond said perfectly. She followed White Diamond's rules to a T. So when Pink got her own world, Pearl brought her down there in the form of rose quartz and showed her the planet. She noticed that they weren't creating life from nothing, but taking everything, creating life and leaving nothing behind. This horse is really giving me problems. So she did all she could to talk to Yellow and Blue to get them to stop colonization, but they just kept telling her, finish what she started. So no one would listen, so she created someone they couldn't ignore, Rose Quartz. Fought against herself, as it says in the song, let's, hold on, I'm gonna get it. For just one day, let's only think about love. As he says in the beginning, she was a diamond, she invaded Earth, saw its beauty and its worth, then she made an army and she fought against herself, Rose Quartz against Pink Diamond. Then she faked her own shattering. It was the only way to save Earth. So she faked being shattered, which means she can't come back. And she permanently became Rose Quartz and fight against the Great Diamond Authority to save Earth. Blue Diamond, when all this happened, she went from being peaceful and happy to vengeful. She would shatter gems left and right at the smallest things. She and Yellow put a cluster. First of all, her along with Yellow and White blasted the Earth, destroying it. Not destroying it. Oh, I'm sorry, Horsey. Destroying every gem on its surface. So they thought, but really they just corrupted them, and that's what Steven and the crystal gems do from the diamonds and from the corrupted gems. So the shatterer, she shattered gems at the smallest problems. She was always sad, depressed, and she would use her powers against gems. So her powers, she could, every gem, every diamond has their aura. When they project their aura, it puts a certain power. So Blue, it brings every gem to tears and they can't stand up. They're just on the ground bawling their eyes out. That's her first power. Now her other power, she can form balls of emotion, negative emotion, out of her hand and throw it at gems, causing them to be knocked back in tears to fly out of their eyes momentarily. So from that, you guys know she was a very negative, depressed gem. Era 3 came around and she found happiness because she was content with the fact that Steven was Pink and Pink wasn't shattered after all, and she turned her sadness into happiness. She then began forming balls of air clouds, well, balls of water vapor clouds, where anyone who bumped into them was magically happy. So that's basically the story of Blue Diamond. Blue Diamond's gems are all diplomats. They're not the type to fight, but they can go from 0 to 100 in a second. They can go from the cutest little beings to the most dangerous, horrifying beings on the planet. So, with that being said, that relates to me because, I was sad, and I'm not going to get into the details, but there was a time when I was really sad. My grades were slipping, everything was going terrible, and then I found happiness because of this show. This show, I would go home and watch it, and it would make me so happy. I would just love seeing it come up on the screen. Steven Universe at 8. You guys know the little Cartoon Network voice lady. But every time, it just gave me something to look forward to. Every day, I would just go home, especially during season 5, because I knew it was almost the end, but I was also doing a rerun of every single episode. That's how I watched every single episode. I did a 10-day marathon and watched every single one multiple times. That's how much I love this show, and every time a new episode would come out, my eyes would light up, and I would just be so excited just to see a new episode. I'm a little lost, but I'll get there. And the themes throughout the show, which is my next topic. So first and foremost, you guys know that Rebecca Sugar referenced the LGBT community with the Garnet wedding, the wedding episode, which brings me to my next point. Before I get into the themes, Homeworld, that which is a theme. I love the Diamonds. They are my all-time favorite characters, but Blue especially. You guys probably know that, like I was saying, Blue, they think about how their actions are going to affect other people emotionally. They're quiet. They are just go with the flow type people, very peaceful. And that's me, unless you make me mad. Just like Blue Diamond, I can go from 0 to 100 if you come at me the wrong way. Which is how I relate to her so much, because I'll be go with the flow. As long as you chilling, I'm chilling. I don't have a problem with you. I'm just good. And guys, this is my first safe house. I just started it. There's not much, but this is my first safe house. As you can see, it's on the side of my map. And sadly, we're gonna have to depart from Charcoal, my horse, for a while. Let me go to sleep first, and I'm gonna take you guys to my beach house. So, the themes of Steven Universe, it was just so intricate. And anime people, anime stands, are gonna quake at this statement, but Steven Universe to me is a lot like an anime. The themes, the complexity, the storyline, it's just, it all lines up. And I hate anime, but I love Steven Universe. So, the storyline, I already started, and this is gonna be quick, I promise. But if you really want to see the true storyline, I suggest watching the show. It's still on the Cartoon Network app. But season 1, we open with Steven. We get to know Steven and who the crystal gems are, what they represent, what they fight for. But the storyline is Era 1, white, blue, yellow, and pink. White, blue, and yellow conquered hundreds and colonized them, which means they inject liquid, they come out strong and buff and powerful. So they did that to hundreds of thousands of planets to create the gem race. And then while that's happening, Pink is just an entertainer. She's living her life, entertaining blue and yellow, pacifying their needs, as I said before, just there for their enjoyment. Then she wants her own planet. She has these temper tantrums with her Pearl, which is why something happens later. But her Pearl and her are like the prankster and their sidekick. They just don't do good things together. So as the storyline goes on, they take away her Pearl, and Blue Diamond says it's gonna happen in a memory from Steven. She says, if you keep this up, White's gonna take away your Pearl, and she did just that. So she gave her a new Pearl, and a Pearl's purpose is to pacify their Diamond's needs and make them happy, but she just didn't know how. So Blue and Yellow finally gave in and gave Pink a planet, Earth. Now she was so excited about this that she went down to Earth. She went down to Earth, per Pearl's idea, disguised as a rose quartz. She changed her form because a gem is just a light projection. And this is my beach house, guys. And I have a few things. I have a heart of the ocean at my old place. But yeah, this is my beach house. So I am going to go on a mining trip once I go back home. Now, as I was saying, where was I? Okay. So this is when all heck breaks loose. Pink Diamond goes down to Earth, sees that they're not creating life from nothing. They're creating life and leaving nothing behind, destroying the planets. So she's trying to, with all her power, to stop. But because she's a diamond, one of the most powerful beings, but she's the lowest tier diamond out of the 4, her status meant nothing to Blue and Yellow, and they told her to finish what she started. So she changed her form, faked her shattering, and was permanently rose quartz. This begins Era 2. Blue was always sad, shattered gems. Yellow was always constantly at work with the army. White was always in her own head. She never left the head of her ship. And it was just a bad time for the gem race. Brain fart. So, Rose. Oh, okay. So, they blasted the planet, as I said before. This is getting a bit repetitive. They blasted the planet. Blue says in a later episode, "How did you even survive? We obliterated every gem on that planet's surface." And then Steven goes, or Pearl, "Not exactly. They take them to show how the gems were corrupted." And this is where we get shown one of their other powers. So each diamond, including Steven, he is a diamond, half human, but he has a diamond. This is, oh, did I go to the right place? Nope, okay. This is where we're shown that Yellow Diamond can restore the gem's physical form. So when Yellow Diamond touches the gem, they go back to normal. Blue Diamond restores them mentally. I want to say emotionally, but no, mentally. She mentally restores them, and they can actually, instead of flopping around, they can actually stand up and form baby talk, sort of. They can form slight words, but not really. Then Pink or Steven can touch them emotionally, and then they're able to make words. White is a purifier slash, she finalizes it. So if White is there, she makes all this final. But if she is not there, they have to continue to touch the gem to make this possible. If they let go, the gem returns to its corrupted state, unless White is there. So that happens during Era 2. They put a cluster in the Earth, and Peridot, which is a whole nother story, but it's not that serious. It doesn't have to be said in the plot line. If you guys want to know Peridot's story, which is worth watching,